Alright, so to top the day off, I thought I'd cover some of the Rising Empires Weekly 26, and we've got Divine DFP here in the blue trunks, as Rus up against Dragevan, or Dragevan, I'm not sure how to say it, Dragevan? Yeah, say Dragevan, that's easy enough for my small Aussie brain to comprehend. So he's on Abbasid in the purple trunks over here. So we're here on Dry Arabia, and I believe this is a best of one series, so everything is on the line for our two players today. Here in the losers final. So the winner of this goes through the grand final. Loser of this walks home in third place today. Well, they don't really have to go walking at all, they're sitting at a computer. But that aside, should be an interesting match. Got a Knight Civ up against the very flexible, but also quite villager boomy Abbasid. There are actually some trading posts on the map as well, and right now the trade wing seems to really be a nice pick. What the fuck? Divine DFP is actually chopping his way through here to put down two macro cabins, I assume? Is that the idea of this? I have never seen this strategy before. I am actually perplexed. This is so fucking big brain and next level. I'm going to do this every game in my fucking mid to high plat games when I actually start playing again. Because admittedly I've had to take a bit of time off over a chronic injury. So we've got our players starting out. And so Dragovan is going to be able to choose between a couple of different wings here. Probably not going to want to go culture wing straight off the bat. But, oh, he's going to go military wing. I was going to say eco wing and trade wing are pretty 50-50. While the military wing, probably not as common, but still seems to be making a bit more of an appearance these days. People are starting to really relish in the boot camp upgrade coupled with early blacksmith upgrades to try and have a real advantage with their feudal armies in particular, but even beyond that. So DFP cutting all the way through the center to get his cabins, and so rather than getting about 28 gold, they're getting double that. So it's been quite handy for him, and he's even gone for two cabins. So this is greedy as fuck, but it looks like it's actually quite safe still, because your opponent's still got to, on a map like this, actually basically put themselves between your town center and the cabin to actually get to it. Other than, you know, having a range ball on the outside chipping away at it, but even still, it's a bit of a pain in the ass compared to just, you know, if there is a, you know, a macro cabin over here or something, you just chip away at it with your scouts. Or if, you know, you go one here and then one over here, same deal. Quite easy to actually pinch the second one. So Dragovan going for military wing. DFP is going to be exploding with gold at the moment, and it looks like he might even be going for like a quick... Oh no, he's getting the food. What are they idling for? What are you doing? Oh, here he goes, coming with the Kremlin. It's deciding between landmarks or where to put it, perhaps. The beauty of this is it's going to act like a fort, so it'll give the same influence boost to the wood gathering there. Got 20% extra drop off. Dragovan going for stable straight off the bat, so I'm not sure how to feel about this, because I mean he'll be able to get boot camped, but it's going to be initially not all that useful for him. I mean, he's got these starting military wing units that he can harass with. True. I don't think that you always got these. I think that's, you know, a fairly recent addition that taking military wing actually gives you units. I think that might be the case with the trade wing as well. Could be wrong about that though. Don't ask me, I just click button. So, stables first, so horsemen gonna be out in the field. While we've got DFP's age up. And he's pretty safe and secure here. Not going to race to castle, but he's actually going to have the gold generation to be able to produce knights as he pleases here, I think. Or he can, you know, save for the gold in the background, not have to worry about gathering any. Just focus on food gathering. And regardless of how much he's actually got to get in feudal to defend, he'll have the gold to go to castle around the time he's got the food bank as well. So, Drogovan gonna save up for a town centre, but he's not going to be able to go for Fertile Crescent because he didn't go Eco Wing, so he can't reduce the cost of it by nearly 200 resources. You know, effectively paying for the tech twice over, almost just shy of twice over, with a single town centre, and then, you know, every house, every, you know, drop-off camp beyond that adds just a little bit more of a saving. In fact, that gold generation has picked up ever so slightly because DFP would have crossed the threshold to, what did he get to, 250? Yeah, over 300s, which is quite nice. If you can get into the high 200s, if not 300, it's pretty much perfect. Getting to 500 in 1v1 is extremely hard. It's much easier to do it in team games, because very few maps will actually really give you the amount of huntables and, you know, wolves around the map that unless your opponent basically ignores all of them, you're not going to get to 500. But DFP, yeah, he's able to take upgrades with ease here. Lumber, the first upgrade there. Double bit axe, I believe it's called. Wheelbarrow, and you know, he's already halfway to the gold he needs for Castle Age. He's got, you know, the ability to just spam knights if he wants or get blacksmith upgrades. So this is a really cool opening that I haven't really seen before. You guys probably have. I'm a bit of a noob. So far, Dragovan's really only got horseman production at this point, whereas DFP at the moment, double range and the stables. You're free to make a lot more shit. And he's gotten the boar there, so that's going to add another 75 free gold. He's just going to have to now spend a little bit of wood, but he'll also get a little bit, again, a little bit more gold generation. Drogovan getting a barracks deal with the knights that are on the field, or those militia just falling to an early grave to expire after 80 seconds. The third range here for DFP. So he's eager to get enough archers to make it really, really difficult for Drogovan to fight with spears. And so he's pretty much forced to try and get the horsemen onto the archers while knights chipping away at them with no real support. So I think that's possibly the idea here. While Drogovan, second town centre, so he's going to start creeping ahead in terms of his economy here. And a third one now too, so that, and he's gone for fresh food stuff, so his villages a little bit cheaper. If you're tuning in for the first time in a while, fresh food stuffs has been down-tuned and actually shifted to the town centre because there's now that Fertile Crescent tech there on the Eco Wing. So it only does 33% rather than 50% villager cost reduction. But even still, you're saving over 15 food every villager. Doesn't take a lot for the tech to actually pay itself back because it's still the same price as it was. I think it just takes another 2 or 3 more villages. Or 3 or 4 probably. Yeah, the spearman count being thinned out, which is not great for Drogovan because he's going to need something to support horsemen. Should DFP look at continuing to mount pressure here. So Drogovan going to add a distant mill there. Adding another barracks as well. DFP adding a 4th range to go with his stable. And he's going to get siege engineering as well as iron undermesh. So these are probably the perfect techs he needs to actually try and bust into his opponent's base, get some buildings, get a lot of villager kills, because he'll be able to tank the town center a little bit better. He'll be able to add rams so he can take out buildings with ease. Oh, the militia gonna be a bit of a pest here for the villagers. Don't look like they're gonna get anything, but at the same time, over here with horsemen again, not really any support for them, because there's too many archers for such a small number of spears to engage here. This is a good trade for DFP. Really rough for Dragovan. He's probably going to want to cancel that mill there. It looks like DFP can't see it because he hasn't actually started building it at all. Dragovan probably going to want to cancel that just to give himself the wood he needs to spit out some more spears, or maybe even put a tower on his wood line just to try and get himself through this at this point. It's been a very solid timing push, so to speak, with DFP. I mean, I know he's incrementally taken some good fights here, but Dragovan probably needs to get the stout back here because every little bit's going to help with winning the next couple of fights. Yeah, DFP, very early rams. It's up to the 4 ranges already, pumping out some military techs as well. He's got the melee and melee armor and ranged armor there, and range damage. Just got the 1 eco tech, and got fertilization here for Dragovan. So he's also got 1 eco tech. Has to have that nice worker lead, but he's going to have to find a way to get through this and survive. A lot of villagers on wood because he needs to start replacing some structures in order to maintain good military production. And right now, his military is outnumbered nearly 3 to 1. There's militia just expiring a little early there. But even still, it has forced Dragovan to pull everything back further. The 3 rams. Dragovan's going to have to find a way to take these out. Well, DFP, very careful to not overextend and lose any health on the ones he's already got while he's training another, because he can't cover for these rams as well while he's building, another one. But now that all of his archers are joining the fray here, it's hard for even small numbers of horsemen to really engage here. As much as they are the counter, there's just too many archers there for them to just tank the damage. Like a single volley's killing them just about. And GG. Looks like DFP is going through to the final.